Welcome back. These students are still protesting because who doesn't love a dose of delayed puberty mixed with further delayed brain development? But maybe it's not as ineffective as I think these protests are being. Let's talk about Brown University. Wow. Brown moves faster than a college student with his last minute essay because they caved to their demands pretty quickly. Well, not exactly, but they have said they are willing to listen to them so long as they pull down the tents, which they did, so negotiations are happening. Meanwhile, in Canada, U of T.
Good morning, Heather. Well, they're just waking up now after a night of camping out here at King's College Circle. And I'm told by some of them that were just coming out of the fence that it was a pretty quiet night here. There's about a couple dozen students who spent the night in tents.
So if you're unaware, these students have some demands. These are protesters protesting the war between Israel and Palestine, but they're going specifically after the schools who have funds related to Israel. Either they're getting funded from them or they're funding them in some sort of indirect way. Basically want them to immediately divest all funds. I don't think anybody with half a brain thinks what these students are doing is a smart idea. You're risking a arrest record, expulsion, and wasting tuition money, an attempt to do something that is really irrelevant. So this was also happening in McGill. I have a video about this too. And McGill said in a statement that it doesn't invest directly in individual stocks or companies and instead relies on fund managers to choose investments that are just profitable for the school because they're, kind of a business that they're running as well. But again, we're dealing with children who don't have any idea why they're really there for and what they can actually accomplish and what it would even do.
Was that rally last night with a large crowd here outside the fence rallying. We know Toronto Police were on site for that, as well as campus security. I don't see any Toronto Police vehicles on site now. There are campus security vehicles parked again. The protesters did spend the night here despite that 10 p.m. deadline that had been issued by.
This is what U of T really falls short of. For a school filled with young adult children, they don't seem to understand how to discipline because threats are as common as squirrels on campus, but less impactful. You can't make idle threats because if you don't follow through on them, it means absolutely nothing. If you give them a time to be out by, then they don't leave by that time, then you act accordingly.
Just ahead of that deadline, Heather, the university put out a statement, a communication to the protesters saying that though the protest has been mostly peaceful, it has been disruptive to regular university business. The statement reiterated that they consider this area private property and that the protesters did not have permission to stay there beyond 10 p.m. But they said that they had been in touch with a representative. The university had been in touch with a representative of the group and reiterated that they were requested to leave by 10 p.m. But if they remained peaceful, they didn't intend on removing them from campus last night.
What's even the point of that statement? Hey, you can't be here, but if you are peacefully here, we're not going to do anything about getting you out of here. Again, you cannot make idle threats. You have to follow through on something in some way. Even if it backfires a little bit on you, you have to make it known that you're not playing around, that you are willing to take the steps necessary. Pathetic.
That statement that was put out by the university, it did say that they had concerns about safety and that those concerns were increasing given that the protest organizers, according to the university, had called on people to join the protest, and also saying that they're concerned that some of those present here may not be U of T students or members of the U of T community.
This is exactly what happened at McGill University. Now, it's happening at U of T, and to do what? Force you to give up significant holdings in your funds to people who aren't even going to be here in a couple years. Like, that's the worst part. These guys are going to bitch and complain. They're going to be here for another couple years and they're going to leave. None of this really matters at the end of the day. This is the worst possible way for them to protest. I've said it before. If you're going to protest this, don't give your money to that thing. It has way longer reaching ramifications because you've taken away your money. Like, you're never going to give your money to them. You guys are going to continue to pay them. They're going to hang on to that money, and then they're just going to buy back into the funds that they were forced to get out of if they get out of it in the first place.
It also said that they had asked on several occasions to identify a U of T student liaison. and that one had not been provided. It told the protesters that they would see a security presence on campus here, and it said that hate speech, threats, and other discriminatory language or behavior do not constitute peaceful protest. So we'll see where this goes today, Heather. I have reached out to the university this morning for a statement on what the plan is going forward, if these protesters will be allowed to continue to stay here. Again, there is a fence around the perimeter of this area that had been set up by the university several days ago. And when these protesters came here yesterday, just over 24 hours ago, around 4 a.m., they simply removed a section of the fence and went in and set up the tents. And they are controlling access.
See, this is the thing. They don't believe your threats because you haven't done anything. You're not looking to do anything. You even say you're not going to do anything. Listen, it's only a matter of time before we get what happened at McGill, which is the clash between the protesters and the counter-protesters, happen at U of T.
We are calling for the end of the genocide, and we're explicitly calling for divestment from McGill and Concordia, who are giving money to weapon manufacturers.
Oh, this is so frustrating, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Look out for more. This is a sad affair. Where are their parents? I mean, they're probably just as stupid as the kids they're raising, so I guess it wouldn't even matter. See ya.